Good morning. It's Wednesday morning and it's time to share with you Galaxies progress on Wednesday. It's a small one, but yet every day it takes us one little step forward. And the way that I'm doing it is by sharing one thing that we achieved, one thing that we learned, and one thing that we find out that we need to fix. I'm personally doing it for 220 days. It's very beneficial for me. Not the video, what is beneficial is just to sit in the end of the day, to think through your day and to realize what you achieved, what you learned, and what you find out that you need to fix or what doesn't work well. So let's dive into Tuesday. Achievement. I think that I mentioned before that we started to get into InsightMaker, which is a tool that an online free tool that we're using in order to model flows and causal loops as part of our work helping other organizations to do synthesis to get to their issues or core cause of their issues and help them to resolve them. Anyway, we find out that we didn't grasp the idea of the simulation. The numbers or the results that we saw were not what we thought, and then we find out that we had some misconception while understanding how the flow is working. I can share it. So what we find out that it's not working is that actually every time that you're doing a flow diagram, you are moving anything like any quantity of something from one sink to another sink, and each and every sink is like it's a stock called a stock. So when you're flowing something from one sink to another, automatically you are moving an element from one sink and you are adding into the other sink, and this is like symmetric relationship. And if you want to create asymmetric relationship, there's a way to do it by adding a flow that goes nowhere or goes to a cloud or whatever. But if you're just doing line that goes from one queue or from one stock to another, automatically the material or whatever you defined, a quantity of something flow from one sink to another sink. So now we have a full working model. We understood how it's working, and pretty nice tool, by the way. You should check it out. Anyway, that's what we achieved yesterday. We have a working model simulation. We know model is far away from being a solution. It's just one way to depict reality, and it's not necessarily right. But it's one way to grasp and understanding what's going on. So that's the achievement. Learned yesterday. It's pretty funny. So meeting with many people and discussing Galaxies, I find out that actually the reason the job description exists is not to help you to know what you have to do. It's more from legal perspective to protect the company, so the company can explain why they are paying such amount of money and why such amount of money, and why they hired Z and not M. And it's all based on the definition of the job description. So this is the reason why they kept it in the system, and this is the reason why no one sees it except of the hiring manager. Anyway, I thought that it really meant to use people at work. I find out that I was far away from reality. Everything is risk averse in our corporate environment, and obviously job description is part of the puzzle that helps us to be more risk averse. Sorry, I have to do the faces. So that's what I learned yesterday. And last but not least, one thing that I find out that I need to fix yesterday, and it was during a meeting. So it's following up. It's marketing and following up. So for many years, I was on the other side. So I got all of those emails from people trying to convince me just to chat with them. Now I understand where they're coming from, because I'm trying to do it right now. But it's very hard for me to bombard people with unnecessary emails, because when I got too many emails, it just creates negativity. And apparently I took it all the way to the other side, and there should be some balance. So what I learned yesterday, that I should follow up, and I should do it in a creative way. And I will do it. I'll find a way how to do it. So that's all for today. One thing that we achieved, one thing that we learned, one thing that I find, or we find out, or I find out that I need to fix. See you tomorrow. Bye.